Hello, I'm back. Um, I had great plans to film every week the minute that I found out that I was pregnant, but that has not happened. For those of you who haven't watched my previous videos, I just put up my pregnancy announcement video, so we are expecting baby number two, and it's really exciting, it's really terrifying, but I'm going to share my journey as I go along, and I really hope you will follow along with me. Generally speaking, I share videos pertaining to pregnancy, birth, postpartum, and breastfeeding. But I thought this would be kind of fun to just share my own personal journey. And I know before I actually even thought about having a baby, I was obsessed with these like weekly updates and what actually happened and what you might experience. So I thought this would be a bit of fun. So please, if you're interested in kind of staying updated, hit that little notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos, and then the subscribe bell to support my channel. So I am now nearly 9 weeks, and it's been a roller coaster already. It's so funny because when I was pregnant with Atticus, I was fine. I literally, you wouldn't have known that I was pregnant except for the fact that I had a little bump. Which reminds me, I'm going to show you. I should do like a before. I did not have a flat tummy before, but I absolutely don't have one now. This little baby's already showing a little tiny, teeny tiny bean. Depends on what I'm eating too. That kind of first trimester bloat is pretty intense. I have a whole separate video where I talk about how I knew I was pregnant before I actually took a test. This is our 4th pregnancy. So we've actually had a few losses along the way. So it's that mixture of I'm excited, I'm so grateful, but I'm also a little bit scared. So I just thought that it would be nice to sort of share the journey, to be able to talk about this baby as a real thing. And for me and for any of my clients, I always say that you become a mum the minute you pee on that stick, and this baby becomes important, and it becomes, you envisage their entire lives and how they're going to be with their siblings and your family before you have even met them. So no matter how long or short their lives are, it's nice to be able to sort of create something in their memory and create something around them. So for me, this is something I always kind of wanted to do. Pregnancy after loss is no joke. Maybe I'll do a whole separate video on that and the anxiety that comes around it. I have sought a lot of support out. I have definitely shared my news a lot earlier than I would had I not had losses before. So I spoke to my friends and close friends and family, those who I would want to know and want to lean on for support if something were to happen. So I haven't been on my own. I've had people checking in on me. I've had people seeing how I'm doing day to day, and it's really made a world of difference. Work has been tough. I have continued to work. I've continued my normal schedule as if nothing has happened, but I'm definitely like working around the windows where I feel good. This pregnancy has been completely different than last pregnancy. I feel like I started to feel symptoms the minute that we conceived. So I actually wrote them down because mom brain is very real, and I'm not going to sort of do an update in terms of, this is what's going on with baby, because if you were pregnant and you're in that phase, you're probably already well aware of what's going on with baby. If it's your first pregnancy, certainly I was like glued to those apps and the books, and I just wanted to know every single detail as it changed day by day. Second pregnancy and subsequent pregnancies are very different because yes, the excitement is there, but you just don't have the time. Certainly if you've got a toddler, I am still running around after a little boy, so you don't quite have the same amount of time. But essentially from week 6, I started to feel really miserable. I found out at day 7 DPO, so day 7 days post ovulation. We have been trying for almost a year now, so I was very much tracking my cycle. I was very aware of my cycles, and by week 6 I was feeling pretty miserable. I was feeling really nauseous all day. The mornings are the worst. There's a couple of things that have helped. So I'm going to, I think, make a separate video about all of the things that help with that kind of first trimester nausea. And I don't want to get too excited yet in saying that it's easing, but I'm really hopeful that it will. It's definitely better some days than others, but I haven't really found any kind of correlation with that. I started peeing more often, so your kidneys start to work a little bit harder as you have that increased blood flow. Obviously you are now sending blood flow to create a baby with the placenta and all of that lovely fluid that's protecting your baby. So your kidneys are working a lot harder. So one of the first things actually, which I think I actually mentioned in that video, was I was up in the night peeing already. I started peeing like 3 times a night and like guzzling more water out of nowhere. So that was one of the first indications for me. Cravings. I've been craving like orange juice and mashed potatoes. Not together, that would be so gross. But last pregnancy again, I didn't really crave anything. That's a lie. I craved pickle chips, which are literally deep fried pickles, which sounds disgusting, but when you're pregnant, oh my god, they're so good. Like dangerously good. Eddie Rockets did them for a while, and then when they stopped doing them, I think I cried for like a week. I haven't yet attempted to make those at home myself. Maybe I should. I feel like that could go very badly wrong. I could just end up having them for breakfast every day. So up until now, I've literally been surviving on mashed potatoes and orange juice, and I've had some really beautiful friends just come and like drop hot meals at my door and come and stay with me and offer to like let me shower and let me nap. And I used to be really, really bad at taking people up on these offers, and I've been saying yes every single week because I've been feeling rotten. Literally, I can't keep my eyes open most of the day, and between work and minding Atticus, I literally put him down for his nap. He's still breastfeeding. I will feed him to sleep, and you can bet like 9 times out of 10 I'm asleep with him. So that has been a really nice thing for me to kind of mind myself a little bit, as well as sort of allowing work to take a little bit of a backseat. So not like driving forward on my business, trying to just be like, okay, I'm okay with things taking a little bit of a break and sort of slowly building, as opposed to like this massive big jump. Craving frozen fruit as well. Frozen mango has been amazing. Back pain already. So the first 2 weeks of pregnancy, my back was already aching. Like my lower back, which generally doesn't start to ache until later on in pregnancy with the gravid uterus and just the weight of it pulling you into sort of a mal posture. But of course, those massive surges in the relaxin and progesterone cause everything to sort of stretch out, all of your ligaments. So my back is already a little bit sore, so I've been milking the back rubs and lots of hot baths when I can manage it. So yeah, still breastfeeding, like I said. Atticus is actually really clever, so not that all babies aren't, but my supply definitely took a little bit of a dip. And I had sort of prepped myself in my head. I was like, okay, I'm really cool with him, sort of slowly weaning off and it just being the end of our breastfeeding journey. And I kind of had it in my head, but I knew he wasn't ready and I knew I wasn't ready. It was just something that I was trying to tell myself. So clever little dude, the minute that my supply went, hello, literally, again, as soon as we conceived, he started feeding like a newborn again. So he now feeds through the night somewhere between like 3 and 10 times a night. He could literally be like boob limpet all night long, which is not easy for mama, but we co-sleep. So honestly, half the time I don't even notice when he's feeding, but it's very clever. So my supply now is back up to normal because he's brought it back up to normal. Week 7 then, still feeling sicky, mashed potato, toast, crackers, all the plain stuff. Definitely not healthy. Maybe every second day I could like manage like a proper meal, but nothing substantial. Tiredness is huge, and the back pain had kind of eased now getting into week 8, but they've been sort of the majority of my symptoms up until now, so it didn't really warrant separate videos for weeks 6, 7 and 8, but I'm coming into week 9 now, and I think the symptoms are going to start kind of changing from here on out. I also want to document as my bump grows. I found it really hard to kind of be okay with my body growing and changing, when I was pregnant last time, and I really want to embrace it this time. And looking back on the pictures that I do have, I'm like, that was incredible. My body did that. Why didn't I embrace it more? So I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to just sort of get into it, and I'm a little bit less of a gym bunny now than I used to be, so I feel like it's not going to be quite as much of a shock. But I'm going to have lots of videos coming your way, so please do stay tuned if you're interested in this kind of content, if you want to follow along on my journey on sort of planning our birth. And I might pop it up on my Instagram if you have any questions, and do maybe a questions and answers session to kind of get everybody up to speed. And I hope you've enjoyed this video, just to kind of give you a little brief of how I'm doing so far. And I will do another video soon. Thank you so much for watching.